Hello, everyone. Please keep eating, but it is just after 11:30, so we will get started. I know we have several folks that like to talk a little bit, so we're going to try to keep everyone within 10 minutes. Maddie over here has a timer for those that are speaking, 5-minute warning, 2-minute warning, time, and also 2 over if you need it. Hopefully not. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Lynsi Pasutti with the Perry Chamber of Commerce. These are our not quite quarterly seasonal updates for the Power Hour. So lunch, for those that would like to sit over here, there's 2 tables, mostly full or mostly open, I should say. If anyone wants front and center, or chairs here. I think we have some lunches open in case anyone didn't grab theirs. So Chris is going to handle all of that. This is recorded in case anyone misses it or you want to revisit any of the topics. And we will get started with Sven Peterson, City Administrator. Thanks again.
Thank you for the slow clap, Lynsi. It's kind of a Monday, right? All right. So I am Sven Peterson, City Administrator for the City of Perry. So I always like to start with the City of Perry's core values: strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, professionalism and integrity, a team player, accountable, and a good steward. So today is mostly just kind of project updates. There's a lot of stuff going on around town, and I don't even have everything. But a little bit of an update on the downtown project. We are close to paving the alley behind, or the rest of the alley from the Tin Pig up towards Wells Fargo. So maybe this week or next week that'll get paved. And as soon as they show that they're being good boys and girls and getting stuff paved, we're going to be moving into the next phase of the project, which is the intersection of 2nd and Warford, and then on Warford from 2nd to 3rd. And then they'll start paving at 1st Street and getting that paved up to the intersection. And we are doing everything we can to have that intersection open for RAGBRAI. To what extent? Lynsi is doing everything she can to have that intersection open for RAGBRAI. I think she's bought some concrete boots and she's ready to sling some mud out there. So I know downtown projects can be a huge inconvenience. They are one of the most complicated types of projects because there's a lot of things under the concrete that we see every day that none of us have any idea are there, which has caused a delay here or there, but nothing too wild. But you're always one excavator bucket away from having a surprise that causes a delay. And I need to ask Matt Holmes to maybe sit in the back of the room and not just laugh at me about this project. But
think about the water shooting over the top of the Tin Pig.
Oh yeah, so. Yep. We did pilot a new tourism attraction, which was a geyser similar to Old Faithful. Somebody, I won't name names, somebody caught one of the service lines that was abandoned off of the water main, and it was shooting up above the top of the Tin Pig. So I had a beautiful view from the 3rd floor of City Hall watching that. But so it is inconvenient, but once we get through this, it'll be a couple of months of construction and annoyance. But then once it's done, we don't have to touch it for another 75 years. And I'll do some quick math. I'll probably be dead. So that'll be somebody else's problem. But it'll be really wonderful when it's done. Great thing to be able to showcase our downtown even more. One of the biggest things I want to remind everybody is that one of the highest priority pieces of this project is maintaining access to all of the buildings downtown. So make sure that everybody is still aware that all of the businesses downtown are still open. We're maintaining access, and this can sometimes cause a little bit of a slowdown in foot traffic. So please make sure that yourselves and all of your friends and family and even strangers, I don't care, are making an extra effort this summer to get downtown and support those local businesses with construction going on. All right. Hopefully, at our June 1st City Council meeting, we have the plan set for the Sumas Avenue construction project on the agenda to get out to bid. This will be paving Sumas Avenue from the intersection right by Casey's all the way down just past JBS USA's driveway. Curb and gutter, sewer, water, storm sewer, as well as sidewalk on one side and trail on the other side. So starting right from the beginning, making sure that we have good pedestrian access to both of those new businesses in town. All right. Let's see a show of hands. Who has heard about a roundabout coming to Perry? Great. So I don't even need to go through this part of the presentation. No. I would like a beer for this part of the presentation, but I don't know that they're serving in the bar yet. So our original RISE application to the DOT for the road and the intersection was to have traffic signals or traffic lights at the intersection of Willis and 141. That was back August or September of last year, and they approved the road portion of the grant and gave us the go-ahead. So that's been under design and review and moving forward to where we're about to bid it. Then they approved the intersection improvements contingent upon further study of alternatives to traffic signals. So in general, the Iowa DOT is very much moving towards roundabouts and alternatives to traffic signals, mainly from a safety standpoint, but also just a cost of maintenance standpoint as well. Traffic signals, all the poles and lights are obnoxiously expensive and continue to get more expensive. So for a variety of reasons, DOT is looking at roundabouts, so they wanted extra study to see if a roundabout would be viable at this intersection. And did I mention that the city of Perry applied for traffic signals for this intersection? So as part of that, our engineers and the DOT, when they study an intersection, they look at different types of traffic calming measures, and then kind of the efficiency and safety of the intersection treatment in, our current traffic counts and current and expected. So these numbers would include JBS and ADR employment numbers. And then they look at the comprehensive plan as well for what we're expecting or working towards on the growth side. So the color might not be great, but the mustard, it looks like, is that what it looks like to everybody else? Ish, is green, which would be the best. So with this information, the Iowa DOT said that they prefer a roundabout. One of the questions I asked them was, okay, well, I don't know. We haven't had conversations with city council. I don't know if city council will be on board with this. So just as a what if, city council says, no way in heck would we have anything to do with the roundabout. What would you do? And they're just kind of like, well, I mean, if city council doesn't want to do it with this RISE grant now, we would probably just put it on the 5-year plan and put in a roundabout in 5 years. So for us, it really came down to the decision of, do we participate and have a say in the design, construction, quality now through this RISE grant, or do we wait and do nothing, cross our fingers that nobody gets hurt in the next 5+ years that they're doing this design? And ultimately, City Council has decided to move forward with doing something now rather than doing nothing. So I'll try and go quick. I'm getting the cards. So a little bit about roundabouts. Primarily, they improve safety, usually the most efficient alternative. One thing we've heard, especially on 141, is semis and agriculture equipment. They really are designed for all sizes of vehicles, and especially for a highway with a 2-lane roadway. There will be plenty of room for ag equipment to get through. And they're really mostly efficient where intersections have peak demand hours. So they put these by schools a lot of the times because they have a bunch of traffic in the morning and a bunch of traffic in the afternoon or evening. And this is my plug for that. Adele is getting a roundabout on 169 by the new school. I hear all the time that we need to keep up with Adele. So we are, right? Let's get, yeah. Okay, great. So good. So there's over 150 roundabouts. They're between state and cities, 10 to 15 new roundabouts a year. And there's about 20 roundabouts on Iowa DOT roads. And we'll wait for questions till the end because my time's up. Thank you.
Usually I'm on the other side of this, so I am going to try and control the AV along with keep my time. So with Maddie being new to the chamber, try to give her a rest after Sven holding up the numbers. So my name is Chris Cohea. I am the marketing co-chair of the RAGBRAI committee. So don't know if anybody's heard, but RAGBRAI is coming through Perry this year on its way to Boone. We are a meetup town, not an overnight town, not a pass-through town. So what exactly does that mean? Well, first and foremost, our committee met multiple times. We decided on a logo and a phrase, a slogan for our meetup town, Perry, the perfect connection. And what is this? Why is this a thing? Well, with RAGBRAI coming through town, we wanted to represent Perry. We talked about the water tower because the water tower is kind of the theme throughout all the communities. And we didn't really know how to draw the buzzards on the water tower, and we didn't want that to be the primary focus. So we decided to instead lean more on how it's rails to trails here in the community. And that's been something that we've hung our hat on for years and years and years, even before the connector trail was finished. So now that it is done, another way to showcase that. But for those of you in the know, I'm sure in this room, a lot of you are familiar with RAGBRAI. But for those that aren't, it's the Register's annual bike ride across America, the oldest, largest, and longest multi-day bicycle touring event in the world. And they're not just bikes hosting a rolling festival. It's every community on the route, whether they are accepting for it, kind of like the roundabout opportunity, whether you wanted it or not, it's coming. So it's prepare or get run over. And we are doing our very best to be prepared. So we are the meeting town. Again, not a roll through, not a pass through, not a blow by. We're not the overnight community, but people are going to be staying for much longer than just a run, find the bathroom, get a drink of water, and leave. We're hoping by corralling people into the 2nd Street corridor, we're going to have a lot more boots on the ground, people parking their bikes, getting out, exploring the downtown, not only for the different features that we're going to be offering during the RAGBRAI hours that people are expected to be here, but just to showcase the downtown, our businesses, our different art, our installations, etc. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to take pictures, a lot of opportunity for people to just explore Perry that have never been here before. So again, trying to put ourselves in a very good light here. Our marketing committee, which I am co-chair of, Jeremy is also on the marketing committee. Emily Leslie could not be here today, but she and I and Jeremy and Ashley, who is with Antillier and partly here at the hotel, we are all working together on multiple different things, but this is the primary focus of our marketing plan. We know that maps are going to be a key feature, not just for the riders, where to go when they're downtown, but also for the support route. We're going to need to showcase how those riders are going to be able to get to the support route, and then how those support route riders are going to get to the downtown area, because obviously parking is, how do I say it? For those SAG routes, for those support routes, we don't have a lot of room for buses. We don't have a lot of room for those RVs that are hauling all the gear for those overnight towns. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to make it as easy and convenient for everyone that is going to be on the route. So here is a work in progress. Let's just call it that. The work in progress of our downtown map. I don't know if I can show you, but this is our primary area for our bike riders. RAGBRAI has told us, similar to DOT, we didn't really have much of a choice in how people are coming into town. The riders are going to be riding down 141. They're going to jump off at I-Court, which runs by the old Tyson, and then they're going to go up Willis, across First, and then we're going to get them in the area that's basically blocked off between Otley and Pattee. Then once they are done downtown, they will leave from Pattee to First and go north on 144 all the way up to 30, and then they'll eventually get their way to Boone. Our SAG route / support riders, they're coming up P58. They will be going up First. They're going to be turning and going into Pattee Park. Pattee Park was what our emergency planning committee, our police, our fire, our EMS, we all decided that that is going to be the safest, most convenient route for the parking of those. And then West 3rd is where we're going to have the bikers meet up with their support route crew. And then, of course, they can go back out there to Willis, and then we can get them back to the downtown area. So, riders and support vehicles. Again, we are trying to do everything we can to make it the most convenient route possible for all of those new folks that are going to be in town, but also make it so that it makes sense for the people that are in Perry, whether they are the residents or they're working here. We just want it to be as clean and convenient as possible. And again, this is not a pass-through. This is not a, hey, quick in and out. They're going to be staying here, hopefully, for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, fingers crossed. There is a hard out time, according to RAGBRAI, at 3 p.m. So we could start seeing riders as early as 6 a.m. So anyone with a volunteer mind, keep that in mind, because we're going to need a lot of extra help during the time that they are here. So for vendor opportunities, along with our volunteers, what do riders want? Food, cold drinks, shade, bathrooms, fun atmosphere, bike repairs. We could conceivably, all the research that I've done, all the research that our committee's done and the RAGBRAI portal, we could bring in, as a meetup town, over $1 million in that short window of time. So again, it behooves all of us to come together as one united front to really roll out the red carpet for all of our new guests that we're going to have in town. We do have a call for vendors. Lynsi is going to be the primary contact on that. We do have the form up on our website, perrya.org/RAGBRAI, and we've also shared it to social media. We do have a RAGBRAI 2026 Facebook page, and of course the Chamber and the City are also sharing those items out. hospitality and atmosphere. We mentioned it earlier. A lot of photos are going to be taken, and the hotel where we are right now is going to be a primary example of one of those locations that you're not going to get it everywhere else. Not every, even overnight town is going to offer a hotel like this. So it's a great opportunity to show off the big bike, show off the Hotel Pattee, all the art installations and all the murals in town. So again, people are going to go wherever they want. We know that with the bikers that just ride the trail. So with RAGBRAI, it's going to be that influx of 20,000 plus. So fundraising, it's another way to roll out the red carpet. We want sponsors. We want people to become vendors. And then, of course, day of sales. Here's kind of our breakdown idea. I don't want to get into it because I know I've got the 2-minute warning going right now, but 27,000 to 57,000 is what we're looking for. A premier sponsorship, $7,500 up to $5,000. We're going to limit to that. Of course, if more people want to give that amount of money, Lynsi, we're not going to turn them away, right? Yeah, there you go. 5 major sponsors, 3,000 each, and then 5 supporting sponsors at 1,000 a pop. That's going to get us to our goal. But obviously, if you know people that are a little more wealthy than I am, in a different tax bracket than I am, encourage them to donate to this and really showcase pairing. RVTV was a prime example of what we can do when we all come together and we all work together. This is going to be an entirely different beast than what RVTV was, so we definitely do need all hands on deck. And that gives us to our volunteers. You can scan the QR code right now and get signed up. Again, that landing page on the P.O.W.E.R website, and we are sharing it on socials as well. Please, we encourage you, if you can donate even a half hour of your time, that's going to be fantastic. And again, you've got kind of the pick of the litter as to where you want to go, who you're going to work with. Misty Von Baron with the library is kind of helping to organize that and run that. Obviously, Lynsi, myself, and Eileen with Bank, we are all there to also get you hooked up with your volunteer slots. But again, either scan the QR code now, or you can go to our socials or our website. And again, our roadmap is essentially this. We've already started our volunteer recruitments and our committee meetings. The next month, final logistics review, the state RAGBRAI officials are going to ride the whole route. They're going to see where we are. They're going to make any suggestions as to what we can change in the limited time we have left. And then we're going to be collecting more vendors and sponsors. And then July 21st, whether you're ready for it or not, they're coming. And there you go. That's my time.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name is Eddie Diaz. I'm the site director of the DMACC VanKirk Career Academy across the street. And today I'm here to share a little bit about what our team has been doing with a $250,000 grant that we received 5 years ago. But I'll start with telling you what we believe. So our team believes that the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. We also believe that this generation of young people is one of the most tremendous generations this country's ever seen. We work with the students that were born between 2006 and 2012, roughly. That's kind of the demographic. And if you think about it, how much has the world changed in that time period? It's tremendous amount of change. And for that reason, this young group of people is incredibly resilient, very creative, and just willing to get stuff done. So they're a lot of fun to work with, and what we're trying to do is help them get ready for that next stage. And so we also believe that every student needs a personal competitive advantage. A personal competitive advantage comes down to 4 things. 1, knowledge, which is very traditional. All of you that went to school and realize writing, reading, math, all that stuff is important. It's been important. It continues to be important. That's what college is for. Number 2, technical skills. The ability to do stuff with your hands is now more important than it has been for generations. And trying to get young people to build those technical skills is part of what we're trying to do. Number 3 is professional skills. So think of those as soft skills. We call them professional skills, but the ability to communicate, the ability to be able to network, hard work ethic, those type of things. And then number 4, which is where you come in, is a community that kind of wraps them up and really supports them to connect learning to life. So what I'm going to do now is go over what we've been doing and are trying to continue to do with that $250,000 partnership between Department of Education, DMACC, and Perry Community Schools. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to skip, for the sake of time, we're going to skip this one and go to the next one. So Future Ready Perry is a grant that allows us to identify some goals that we've been working on. Number one is FAFSA completion. For the last 5 years, we really targeted helping young people complete financial aid for the federal government, because the data shows that if there's FAFSA rates go up, students are much more likely to go to college. So we did that. You can kind of, that's not a great graph. I'll just go through it. Actually, can you go back one slide? Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, go to the next one, see. And one more. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go back to that. So I apologize about that. But essentially, through this grant, we were able to increase our goal was to get it to 50% of Perry High School graduates that completed FAFSA. We got it to 54%. This year, we're down significantly for a variety of reasons that I'll get to, but we're still about at the state average. And so we've met that goal, and we can say that we helped a lot of young people be able to afford for that college tuition. Our next goal is, go to the next one, one I'm particularly passionate about, and it's Future Ready Perry Pathways. We've really focused over the last 5 years of recruiting young people into these three pathways: the healthcare field, the skilled trades, and education. Essentially, because all those industries are essential to Perry's growth. So we have a hospital, long-term care facilities. We want to be able to help those industries find local talent. Trades, there's no need to say it, but we have tremendous amount of industry here, and the skilled trades are one of those AI-resistant jobs that we can try and encourage young people into. And teaching. We need quality educators, preferably if they're able to stay in the community longer, be from the community. We think that that will help that long-term thriving community that we want. Our third goal was to increase the number of college credits that students take while they're in high school. DMACC is the largest college in the state of Iowa, and that's because 51% of our student body is high school students. So between 16 and 19,000 students a year take college classes at DMACC while they're in high school. So we're trying to support, we're fortunate here that we're 1.3 miles from the high school. So a significant number of our students in Perry are able to take care of that opportunity. But as we went through this, we also realized we need to not just increase the number of college credits, but also be careful in what classes those students get into. We've learned that some students just take way too many college courses that may not be in their best interest. So with that in mind, we've started a Career Advantage Plus program. Let's go to the next slide. And this Career Advantage Plus program is in year 2. And the goal with that program is to recruit about 18 students a year that are 8th graders that will get into early college access as soon as they're in 9th grade. Ultimately getting 32 college credits up to an associate's degree. Right now, DMACC graduates about 200 students a year with an associate's degree and a high school degree, which is incredible to me. Perry had 1 this year. They had 2 the year before. Eventually, we're going to get to about 10 to 15 each year. So this program is to provide some supports as they're going through it. We have a kind of a very defined pathway. So we have those classes that we've selected for them. They're in a cohort. We believe that's going to make them more successful. And we also offer summer programming that is actually started today because there's about half a dozen of these students in the audience. So part of the summer program is getting them connected with you. Let's go to the next slide. So this is our first cohort. I know the text might be a little small, but you probably recognize a bunch of names up there. Very talented young group of people. And the goal is to, well, they already took, 8 credits their freshman year of college classes, some of them in their building, some of them online, and a bunch of them are taking them this summer. Very, very high achieving kids, very determined. You put something in front of them, they'll take care of it. And so that was our very first cohort. And in the summer, let's go to the next slide, which started today for them. We have some summer programming that we do and some professional leadership seminars in communication, networking, etiquette, just those skill sets, those soft skills, professional skills that will ultimately help them in the long run. We do a book study with them on character, on leadership traits. Yep. We offer math labs. So we have math instruction at the DMACC VanKirk Career Academy. Even though they're all very high achieving, we want them to maintain those math skills over the summer. And we do an Adventureland trip because we like to have fun. So here's the next cohort. This is the current 8th graders going into their freshman year. Again, tremendous talent and a young group of people that really want to start working on their long-term goals. And they'll be taking some of the same classes this next year, and they're starting their summer programming today. Very similar to the other one. One thing that's a little different this year is we got a grant from the Greater Des Moines Partnership, and so they're paying for a leadership seminar for our first cohort that I mentioned earlier. These young people are going to get paid $50 to be in each leadership seminar. They're getting paid all their tuition for this program. They're paying us to have a facilitator. So the Greater Des Moines Partnership, in collaboration with P.O.W.E.R Economic Development, was able to give these young people that extra opportunity. So we're very excited. It's been 5 years of work. Our grant, unfortunately, is over. So now we're transitioning to how to make this sustainable over the next 5 years, and we'll see how we can make it happen. But what we need from you is to be that community that embraces these young students, shows them opportunities that are in this community, because by no means are we saying don't leave Perry. Many of us left Perry. I left Perry, came back. But we want them to know if they want opportunities in Perry, they are here and they have a community that can support them. So some of the things that you can do, especially if you're in the industries, host these folks. We will do some visits, provide speakers at career fairs that the high school does every other year. Meet, mentor students. So if you don't know any of those students, I have half a dozen here. Hopefully you get an opportunity to build a relationship with them so you can down the road be that person that can connect them to opportunities that might not be readily available to them. Offer internships by the junior and senior year, which we have another year or two for this. We're going to really try to make a robust job shadowing experience for them. So we're going to put these young people in your industry. Support educators and advocate for education. There's a huge pendulum swing. If you're not feeling it, I will tell you educators feel it. We have a large number of students, they're not going to college because they're being told college is not, it's not for you, or it's not valuable anymore. And then of course, education's under tremendous amount of pressure right now. So anything that you can do to advocate for that system that's trying to do this work is going to help in the long run. That is it for me. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lynsi with the Perry Chamber. Again, thank you for joining us today. I think it's a great opportunity to hear from different speakers on different things that are going on. So different projects that are up and coming that will affect us all, events, and then programs which are really supporting our community. So just like any chamber, I'm not going to go over this very much, but we're a member association with our board of directors. We are here to support our businesses and our community as a whole to make it a great place to live, work, and play. Go ahead. And so every month I'm always reporting to the board. I'm sending it out to our membership to really showcase what all we are doing. This is just a highlight from a couple stats that I share out. So a big thing is, you know, our membership, we are member driven. So that really is an impact on renewal, and celebrating new businesses with ribbon cuttings are always fun, but how else are we supporting businesses is really the key there. And just kind of some fun facts really with our job board online and our online community calendar. We have really seen a lot of visibility with both of those online. So huge numbers for folks looking for jobs in our community through our job board, as well as all of the events on our community calendar, whether they're hosted by the chamber or our members. We can pull those stats to see how many people are looking at the calendar and all of that. And then just a reminder for Perry Bucks. So these are things that support our local businesses. They work just like cash at all of our member businesses that want to use those. So folks will purchase them at the chamber office, gift them, use them, and then businesses redeem them back with the chamber, and we write them a check. So this is just so far this year. So not a whole lot purchased by the community, just $660, but we see a huge uptick in the fourth quarter, but they never expire. And so we see a lot more of that redemption throughout the year. So over $3,000, almost $4,000 redeemed by members so far this year. So really great on pace to where we're going to be in the future. But really what I'd like to talk to you all about a little bit more today is a current project that we're working on, which is really well timed with the application deadline next Monday, June 1st at 5 p.m. So if you've joined us before for Power Hours, we've talked about this program before. It was new in 2024 with some funding from the Iowa Rural Development Council, thanks to the Wells Fargo Foundation. We initially got $30,000 from the IRDC, matched locally, and then we had by the City of Perry, Perry Economic Development, and the Perry Chamber Foundation, as well as some local support with the Raccoon Valley Bank Foundation, as well as the Bach Family Foundation. So in that first year, the focus, if you remember, in 2024 was how are we supporting businesses during the Tyson closure and thereafter. So that was really how we were rising to the top in our applications among so many other communities in Iowa. There were only 4 communities that received this funding. And then we were able to develop a program to support small businesses. So that first year, the program goals set by the Iowa Rural Development Council really focused on increasing access to capital, strengthening business skills, expand entrepreneurial networks, and then preserving or creating new jobs. And really, we took that as an opportunity for a grant program for any business to say, what do they need at the time to be able to be open years and years down the road. So that first round, $68,778 were that was granted out to businesses. We talked a lot more details before, but just want to give you kind of that, looking back on that, that was almost $100,000 in different projects among those about dozen businesses. And there was a 10% match required, but it ended up being about 30% match by the end of the day. So $30,000 invested by businesses in those projects and then supported by this grant funding. With that, we had some additional support from, like I mentioned, the Bank Foundation and the Bach Family Foundation. So we have about $18,000 to work with for a new round. So the need before, because we had additional funds, was up to $7,500 for grants. We've shifted that a little bit now. It's between $500 and $1,500, but we're hoping to still support additional businesses this next round. So especially thinking about the street project and the impacts on the community and businesses, a great opportunity to update signage or online presence or whatever will most help your business. Okay. So the goal has always been to support businesses and keeping it open-ended, but there are still, of course, some parameters. So some suggested eligible expenses, products, equipment, services, marketing, physical improvements, educational courses, or even new staffing, just to offset that. I realize $1,500 doesn't go a whole long way, but it still supports your projects and hopefully will kind of help you move forward. And so then with that, because it's so open-ended, that scoring is really based on how you tell your story. So what is that impact that will be made on your business? Stating the opportunity that you are trying to address. You have this challenge, what's going to help you move forward with that support? Also feasibility. So this dollar amount, how will it help you move forward? Are you actually going to see this project through? Of course, the proposed budget, making sure that makes sense with quotes, and then also that overall need and impact. So what is your desired outcome from that project? We had a wide range, that's first round, talking about how businesses are saying, I really could use a lot of help here, this equipment will really set me forward to support my business or expand my offerings. So I'm really excited to see what the applications will look like this year. So again, the deadline, Monday, June 1st by 5 p.m. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to help out. I will not actually be scoring, so I can help you all that you want to when it comes to actually filling out the application. Okay. So that's just one project that we manage. So with the chamber and my position, I also get to support the Chamber Foundation. So that's where the grant applications come in. But as the chamber, we also host a number of events and programs throughout the year. Again, hopefully supporting our businesses, community, and tourism as well. One thing I'm particularly proud of is the farmers market. I shared some of these stats last September before the market season was over. But just to give you an idea of how we support our community with this ongoing event throughout the summer. Some might say, oh, it's just a farmer's market, but it is a gathering place for our community. It is a place for commerce to take place in our community, for kids' activities to get out and about and learn early literacy when it comes to the currency programs that we've partnered with the library on. And then it's also a matter of supporting food insecurity, tackling it in our community. So we are a SNAP certified market, which means that folks can use their SNAP EBT cards at the market to exchange for tokens to use at our market, along with double up food bucks. You can see some numbers there, small numbers in terms of 250, 268, but it's really exciting partnering with the food pantry to hand out vouchers, more than $5,000, supporting those individuals, and then using them at the market, which supports our vendors as well to make them continue to be great for serving our community. And then we partnered with Iowa PBS Kids last year, the last 2 years, and the library is continuing on with that program, which is really exciting. So on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month, we will have kids activities, and they'll get currency, they'll get kids bucks to go spend at the market, they get to purchase things on their own, fruits and vegetables. But it's a really great way to get them thinking about early literacy and making change and all of that fun stuff. And then also WIC and senior vouchers are available with individual vendors. Third Thursday of the month, we'll continue to have our special events. This has been a great way to provide that platform for our community to get out in front of shoppers and be that gathering place. And I probably should have started with that green box there, new location. Due to the street construction this summer, we are shifting the market 1 block south. So we will be south of Willis, between Willis and Otley. I know DMACC is really excited about that, and parking is always fun to talk about. But we did get the go-ahead. It's not just a surprise, as well as with the library too. But really exciting to be able to continue that on. This is our 9th season downtown. If anyone remembers when it used to be at Caboose Park, we started off in 2017 at Josh Davis Plaza is where we were able to fit all of the vendors. And then in 2020, we expanded into the street half a block and then grew to a full block. And now we have vendors coming from all over the place, and there's kind of a waiting list to get involved, food truck every night. So I could talk about the farmers market all night, but we're not going to say any more about that. So join us on Thursdays starting next week. And then I'm wrapping up my time here with just some save the dates of different events. So we have Friday Fest with Ruckus, Friday, June 12th, 4th of July, of course, on the 4th of July at Pattee Park. We have 2nd Street Block Party with Toaster, Friday, July 24th. We've already talked about RAGBRAI, and then Chamber Golf Outing, Friday, August 7th, and mentioning, again, the Farmers Market on Thursdays, June through September. All right, and the last one, networking opportunities continue with our chamber coffees on the 2nd Friday of the month at 8 a.m., bright and early. We have our next one at Perry Grand Theater and Ice Cream Shop. I am still looking for hosts for the next 2 months after that. And then in September, we'll be at the Dallas County Conservation at Forest Park Museum. So a great way to showcase your business, get folks coming in, seeing behind the scenes. Tours are always great. Introducing your staff is always great. And then hearing updates from the community as well. So thank you all for joining us for the Power Hour. So thanks. And if anyone has questions, I think so it's 12:15. We have about 10 minutes to open it up for questions, or you can just stick around and talk individually, okay? And then there's a couple lunches left too. So thanks.